This one goes out to the Artcasters. Ooh, Artcasters! I see you casting your spell, Artcasters. Casting your spell. Ooh, you're gonna cast that spell. Strike a hell. Whoa! Ooh. Hi, 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 hi.
All right, had a few technical issues, but we are live. This is Artcasters episode 456. We've got Jim and a bunch of other special guests, which we'll be bringing in because this Friday is the premiere of Jim's movie, The Full Fungus. We've talked a little bit about it, and if you're a member of Jim's Patreon, you may have already seen the movie. If you're not, it will be available for the public to see, and we'll get into that. And we've got some of the cast of The Full Fungus with us tonight, and we'll start bringing them in. But first, I guess we're doing a little differently. Like I said, we've got some people waiting in the green room, but usually what we do is kind of go around the room and introduce ourselves, telling everybody if there's anything we got to promote. Obviously, we just talked about what Jim wants to promote. As far as me, I've got the website. You can find my comic books, Young and the Dead, Kids vs. Zombie Adventure Story. But the one thing I do want to mention is that I have an appearance this Saturday at Arizona Comics Art Festival, ASCAF. I'll be there with our friends Gary Hodges. And then we've got the Making Comics guys are going to be there, Keith and Scott. So come out and see us if you happen to be in Arizona. And this is a kind of a cool convention because it is just comic focused, mostly like indie comics focused. There are some, I guess there's some Marvel and DC guys, but the cool thing is usually they don't really have big special guests because it's not that kind of convention, but there is going to be one special guest there. And since it is sort of an indie comic convention, why not probably one of the two biggest names in indie comics, co-creator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Kevin Eastman's going to be there. So if you want to go by, see Kevin, and then come by and check out what everyone's got going on there. So like I
really
said,
thought you were going to say Gary Hodges.
So yeah, it's Arizona Comics Arts Festival. Just check that out, and then you can find all the information about that. So Jim, I don't know, other than Full Fungus, anything else you want to promote, or you just want to roll right into that?
I want to show you my new line of hats I have here.
Oh, yeah.
The Full Fungus hat. Very fashionable item to wear. All the kids are wearing them. They're going to be at the Met Gala this year. So
it's kind of like Spaceballs, the hat.
Yes, and no, I just want to say thank you so much, Scott. There were so many technical issues even before this show happened. There were unrelated show technical issues, but we powered through them and canceled and then reinstated, then canceled and then reinstated the show. So also want to give a shout out to Josh, who is not here today, but is here in our hearts. So, but yeah, we're ready to do this. This is a long time coming. I guess what we should do is bring on the cast so that they're not in anticipation too much. The first, you mind if I do this? The first man guest that I'd like to bring on is Chino Diamond himself, otherwise known as Charlie Rossman. Yeah. Okay. No, Charlie, we can't see you now. Charlie,
I'm a little self-conscious. I'm just going to do a sketch of myself. I'm going to appear via the sketch I'm assembling right now. Okay, here.
Very good. Nice. That must be very cool.
Thank you. So I'll be appearing via sketch.
Okay.
Yes, Charlie is very sketchy. And speaking of sketchy people, Gary Hodges has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Gary Hodges plays Dr. Hodges. Perhaps later on he can jump on. We can have 11 people on here. So Charlie Rossman is Chino Diamond in The Full Fungus. What is The Full Fungus? It's a crime comedy animated full-length feature film that I helped to create with the help of the wonderful voice actors, and three of them that you will meet today. And actually, I want to bring this up. So in the film, Scott Serkland plays Davy Diamond, son of Chino Diamond. So we have a father and son reunion right here on this platform of ours.
I don't think I can do that. Yep, you must have to be on a Mac or something to do
Charlie's a witch. Anyways, so yeah, father and son finally reunited. This is beautiful. And it brings a tear to my eye.
How's it going there?
So let's start singing the Cats in the Cradle.
You're adopted, Davey.
All right,
You're
so
not the product of my loin.
Speaking of wonderful family members, we're going to bring out now the wonderful, talented, the femme fatale of the film goes by the name of Brandy Fungus. You don't want to mess with her, and you don't want to mess with Malia Fungus Kerr. Malia.
That is my middle name.
I know.
That's brilliant.
Corey and Malia. There's Corey.
And Corey plays a handful of people, right?
Yes. And Corey dies very quickly in the film.
As I should.
Unlike in real life where Corey can't be killed by conventional means. So
no.
See, what the secret is the more I'm killed in my friend's fiction, the more I can not die in real life.
Yes, you start up alive. Now, I want to bring up something. Speaking of dying multiple times, our beautiful friend Charlie Rossman right here, besides being a very successful television and movie actor, besides the full Fungus, I mean, this is his big break, but besides that, he's been in lots of things. But Charlie was once, for a while, a stuntman at, was it Universal Studios, Charlie?
Yeah.
Universal Studios Wild West stunt show where he would fall 40 feet into a box of toothpicks.
I may have seen you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Into wood planks.
Yes. And they on the application, I think there was an IQ test that he passed to do that. So
a lot of people don't know that I actually reformulated the DNA helix.
Yes.
I don't want to talk about that right now. It's pretty technical, but just know that I have that level of intellect.
And that's actually an adult toy anyway, so.
It's still warm, Jim.
So Charlie, I know Charlie, this is a proud parent right now bragging, because Charlie will not brag, but, and I won't go over your whole resume.
I won't. Look at these babies. You try to get a handle on that.
That's right. And he shaved too. So, no, but Charlie is one of many people who has slept on Axl Rose's bed in real life.
Also, there's a connection to the intro there.
Yeah. So, Charlie, you want to tell the brief version of that?
I was in a video that was filmed at his house, and I played an ambulance guy that took him off the bed, and while they were setting up the shot, I fell asleep on his bed.
Yeah.
True story.
And he woke
As
up.
one does.
As one wants to do.
Yeah. So,
And that's when I was first inspired to formulate the double helix. It's a
is
long
that what
story.
you call it?
I just want you to appreciate the level of my intellect.
Well, it is
I'm
double.
saying that a lot.
So yeah, there's so many stories. Charlie was in Superbad. Charlie was in a Super Bowl commercial, I think, right? Weren't you?
Yeah,
Or a Tidy Bowl commercial. One of them. Yeah, Charlie's the real deal. When people look up Charlie's, and I know he's gonna get embarrassed and he's gonna soil himself. Too late. Charlie is really like the real deal. Like, I'm very, very lucky and very fortunate to work with him. And Charlie makes everything better that he works in. So,
thank you.
And there's Nisam, Cuban Lion is Nisam, who is in the film. Now Gary has to go back to that. What did Gary say now? He's topping our story now. I slept in Winona Ryder's bed once. That's all I have to say, according to the judge. Yes, but this is when she was a child. So, But and then speaking of actors,
I also did Sally Struthers.
Sally Struthers, did you? Okay. So and then as well, I feel honored to work with these two fine folks up here, and Corey. These two fine folks right here. This guy, who is there's nobody more fun to kill a character of than Corey, because in real life he can't be killed. So it's like Nosferatu. So.
I've tried.
Yeah. So, if at first you don't succeed, arsenic. So, Malia, can you tell us everything that you've ever been in or that you've ever tried out for, in order?
Absolutely. Corey, help me.
Go.
There's just so many things.
Yes.
So you've been Mother Superior in
No.
Sister Act. What are you talking about?
Private. That's private, Corey.
No, tell the real stuff. Let's just make some stuff up.
So she's a stage singer, actress. I don't know. Are you a dancer?
I just have the perfect voice for Brandy Fungus.
Yes, that's true.
Brandy Carlisle.
Malia's a classically trained opera singer, and she's been transitioning to mixed voice and belt over the last few years. She's been in quite a few plays, and I'll say it that
I dabble in some community theater.
yeah, it's good stuff. She's awesome.
And I did a puppet show when I was a kid. The end. But speaking of childhood traumas, it's a horrible intro for Scott. Scott, usually you're the host, but I want to tell people that Davy Diamond, your character in the Full Fungus, was one of the most fun characters to draw and animate. And you nailed it. You got the voice, you got the... Yeah.
It was fun to voice. I don't know if I changed my voice too much, but...
No. Exactly.
Yeah, I got to live out my dream of being a medieval knight or medieval times actor, I guess.
Yeah, I was so.
Now,
I mean,
the one thing I went to the Renaissance Festival a couple weekends ago, and it reminded me that most of the participants in that are on horseback, and I don't picture Davy Diamond on horse. So is it? I guess the real one's medieval times. This one was what
medieval knights, I think.
Medieval knights.
Yeah.
So do they not do the horseback thing in your version?
Well, we said that we were going to talk about bareback today, so let's move on. Let's move on, please.
Okay.
Don't get Charlie started.
No animals were harmed during the making of this podcast.
No. I would imagine they do, but that place is so low budget.
I probably have a stunt double for that.
Yeah,
Charlie comes in.
I worked at medieval times.
Did you really, Charlie?
Yeah,
see, he's like Professor. What is it? Bragg a lot, or what was that?
Oh, what was it? Yeah.
Commander McBragg or something.
Commander McBragg, yeah.
Yeah, Charlie's did everything twice. Tell us, you worked at did you ever get in a real fight at Medieval Knights?
Well, I went there. I wanted to be one of the knights after I got fired from the Universal Studios, and they said, "We'll do the king for a few months, and then we'll work you into the knight stuff and the horse stuff."
And you're too good at the king, so they just kept.
Yeah.
Charlie, if you're not violating any laws, can you tell us why you got fired? I don't know why you got fired at Universal Studios stunt show.
The real reason, or you want to just
the real reason, the true.
Well, because I'm a lawyer as well as an actor, and I was advising some of the stunt guys on some legal issues relative to a products liability case against the maker of the noose that they swung around on, and they didn't seem to like that, so they let me go.
By the way, if anyone either listening or on this panel wants free legal advice for the next hour, he'll give it. Yeah, there you go.
Please call me.
And remember, you fall off your Harley, call Charlie. Copyright. So. And don't ask any divorce questions, anybody. So just tell
Let's just stick exclusively to the double helix tonight.
So the very first person cast in the Full Fungus was and is Charlie. The second person was Deacon Burns, who may or may not join today. If he does, we'll bring him on. But and then the very next person is right up here, Malia.
Hey.
Malia, tell us about your animated voice acting that you've done. Everything you've ever been in.
All of it?
All of it.
Jim Lujan Productions.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. Gee.
Yeah, it's just been for you.
Yeah.
Just
for you, Jim.
that's it.
All for you, Damien. It's all for you, Damien. So I have about an hour of Malia
sound effects
and just the weirdest, most bizarre noises. Everything. I'm gonna sell them to the men in the service.
Yeah.
Please.
Sure.
It's extra money that way.
I think my family always wondered what I would do with my weirdness, and now they know.
Yeah. When you met Corey, this is gonna be like a dating show. When you met Corey, did
Door
you guys
number
meet
3.
Through the theater?
No.
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 Was it an app?
Close. No, we're too old for apps.
Yes. But
I was playing Mr. Bundles in Annie this summer before we met, I think.
Is that a made up character or a real one?
No, he's the dude that flirts with the lady that's mean to all the orphans.
I've always been meaning to ask you that because it sounds like a made up character.
I don't know, my script said Mr. Bundles.
Character,
the guy,
Carol Burnett's character, right? He flirts
the
with
what
her.
character? Yeah, right. I go in, yeah, and then she sings how she's dripping with girls instead of pearls or whatever. I can't remember.
She loves little girls.
I did get a note because it was a Christian school, and they said that I was playing the character slightly too drunk to make them comfortable, and so I stumbled on. You know, it was great. Anyway,
well, you're a method actor or a methadone.
Methadone actor, yeah.
But so Malia, like doing the voice stuff, and I mean, for one, it was pretty, I would say, easy for you. It seemed you didn't seem stressed or you didn't seem out of place. From my perspective.
I mean, especially not for Brandy, because you just wanted my voice.
Yeah.
You know, a real Ursula Ariel type thing.
And your attitude and your anger.
Yeah, because I've got a lot of attitude and anger. So
sassy.
Yeah, so it was, we really do have a lot of, like, the outtakes are hilarious. I listened to them the other day, and it's really pretty funny. Mostly, that's why we saved all the laughs for Away from the Full Fungus, and we put all of the not funny stuff in the film, you know. It's really the best film.
Speaking of sass, I've got to tell you this story because Malia's sass is genetic. So the other day she was talking to her 3-year-old and said, Ross, do you remember when I told you to pick up your toys? And without breaking a sweat at all and not even looking up from the crayon drawing that she was doing, she said, Mom, do you remember when I told you not to talk to me?
It's funny until they're 18.
I told her yes, but that was 20 minutes ago, and I was asking you about your day. That was the end of the conversation.
I blame the parents, actually. So.
Yeah, whoever they are.
Scott, can you show Cuban Lion's quote about Charlie? And I think this is considered. This is payola. I'm sure Charlie paid him to say this.
What does he say?
He is the best lawyer on the planet. Said Neeson. So, but so it is a small world. Charlie and Neeson are buddies now. They met through yours truly, and have gotten into a lot of trouble together. But
his son is a very talented editor and full service person in the entertainment industry, and I hooked him up with some of my friends at a place called Podhead Studios in LA, downtown LA, at a soundstage there, and he's become their star employee and editor, and just really They're really busting it over there. And
Christopher Leone is his name, and he's a genius. He's
he's a very bright kid.
Super bright kid. I mean, super talented. Like usually you're not good at sports, weather, everything. He's good at everything. So,
but he did not invent the double helix reformulation.
No. Why are they different colors? Well, we'll get to that later. So you can throw up now, Malia. By the way, it's okay.
I was asleep.
We're all family here. So.
I was asleep with my eyes open.
This is the most cast members I've ever had. We've ever had like at once here together.
It's probably, I would imagine the film has probably the biggest cast you've ever done.
Yeah, it does. It has 30 people that just pop in and out of the film, and about 12 people that have pretty good roles, and then 2 people that just really mess the film up. And that's why I want to have you guys here today to talk about that. You guys, what did you do? Why did you do that way? Why didn't you listen to me? Okay, it's out of my system now. Thanks, guys. By the way, for the sequel, it'll be out in a month. So we're gonna really have to hunker down and do some recording for that.
Sounds
For
good.
Fuller
I'm
Fungus.
ready.
I'm ready to reprise my role.
Yeah,
Full
Scott,
Fungus.
were you at all? Was it nerve-wracking at all to do your voices? Because I know that you gave me quite a few takes, by the way.
Those truck nuts? Sorry, a tooth. It's a tooth. Okay. Apparently, they look quite alike. All right.
It's a tooth.
Yeah, I see that. I'm from Arizona. I'm just more familiar with truck nuts. So.
They don't have a lot of teeth there.
No, I told
these parts.
Because honestly, I was having known Jim for a little while and never been cast in any of his movies. I was a little hurt that it took this long for him to recognize my genius. I don't know how many times he's seen me do impersonations and stuff on the Artcasters, or I can't say, I guess, or had other people. That was you. I don't know. No, we've had guests like who have we had on the
Vincent
show?
Price,
Yeah,
Gene
Vincent
Simmons,
Price,
Vincent Bugliosi,
Stanley.
Yeah. No, but yeah. So because of that, I think I wanted to do a little more of a voice, but I think Jim was like, no. He shows me the picture of Davey Diamond. He goes, no, just do your regular voice. Your regular voice is fine. No, we tweaked it around a little bit. So yeah, it was fun. Yeah, we had to. I think. I don't know. I mean, I think you altered it slightly. I think you slowed it down or something like that. Because I think when I was doing it, you wanted a little more heavier voice or something. But
I mean, barely.
Yeah.
And sometimes I didn't even at all. I didn't alter it at all. But no, you nailed it. And you got the voice really quickly too. Like the character.
Well, the first take we did, it was a little more Californian.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little Spicoli in there for some reason.
Yeah.
So we kind of, but yeah, no, it was fun. I would gladly reprise that role or do another role in the future.
And I'm sorry I yelled at you so much, and the things I said hurtful. I'm sorry they were hurtful. It was actually
Jim's pretty easy to work with. It's just like oh, that's great. You do a couple takes, you like that, great. And so I'd do like, I don't know about you guys, but I would do like probably 5 or 6 different line reads, and usually he's like, oh no, the first one was good.
Yeah, I felt that way too. Yeah. It's like, don't you want a few more? I didn't like any of those. Nope, it's perfect.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know what? It's funny. I find that when usually people give me multiple. Well, it was different with Malia because we recorded live. I mean, you were in Idaho and I was in California, but still, we had the headphones on. And
yeah.
Scott just had lines, and then he would send me a batch back. And I'm not even kidding. Most of the time I use the first take. He would nail it the first take, and then the rest of the takes would be variations of that. And then
Jim and I have an agreement where I am paid per word.
Yes.
And so he stops me after the first take.
Yeah, and he stutters. So Charlie, you
didn't mention Charlie's background in prop comedy.
So I try to, he makes me keep the words to a bare minimum.
He's crying behind that sign.
He's giving Carrot Top a run for his money.
Yeah. So, and then Corey, can I ask Mr. Kerr a question, please?
Sure.
Corey Kerr?
Yeah, he's available.
My question is, what gives you the right? Okay. No. We work. This is our second or third time working together, at least.
Yes. Sure.
At least. Corey's we both animated something together, and learned that opposites attract, but also detest each other. No,
I had a good time for 70% of that experience.
That's true. Yeah, and the other 30% was working with me.
When I was sitting alone and you weren't talking to me, I really enjoyed myself.
I could imagine, yeah. But I mean, when you're given lines or you're given an idea to do something, are you the type that records multiple takes of something, or do you usually just do one or two takes?
I mean, I'll do a couple and then I'll send them to you and see if you like them or not. Mm. One time so I did a few different voices in the full Fungus, and one of them I had a cold, and you just called me and said, "Hey, I just need you to do a gangster and say this line really fast." And so because of my cold, I was able to do this like really deep, gravelly one, and you're like, "That was amazing. How did you do that?" Yeah.
And then you came back when you didn't have a cold and like, oh, can you reread that line? Like,
yeah, I'm like, I could do it again right now, but not tomorrow. Yes.
So I made Corey jump in the river, and then he ran in the snow for an hour, and then he got.
Well, that explains a few things.
Oh, here we go. All right.
So, but
all right, Jim, we got a special guest.
Oh, do we now?
Yes. Should I put him on?
Yeah. He did it.
Yeah,
did it, ladies and gentlemen. Malia, Charlie, you already know who this guy is. Corey, Scott. This is the very famous Neeson, theme song singer.
How we doing, guys?
Oh, it's great.
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Line. So, Neeson, this is Brandy Fungus.
Hi, Brandy.
This is Davey.
Hello.
Davey Diamond, right there, and that's and then somewhere there is
there's Charlie's chest hair.
Charlie's
Tits McGee.
Really gross, Charlie. So Neeson and I have been friends for like 30 years, and Neeson was my first and my most theme song singer, and we were just talking about this yesterday with our friend Ray. We were talking about how we did music together before I ever did animation. It started there, so that's why he tagged along.
It was sort of a reason to make some sort of film, because you could use the music, and we always had our own soundtrack, which was really cool. You know, you're not using anybody else's stuff, and and it could be the premise of whatever was being done. And I don't need to tell you guys that Jimmy's a genius, man, when it comes to that. So
that's why he's here.
Yeah, man.
He's the fluffer.
That's it. That's it. For those of you that were
Jim's
around
the
in the 70s.
So I've had a beer with 2 of the 5 people on the panel, or there are 4 people. Maybe I've had too many beers.
So we need to all have a beer one day together in the same place.
Well, or a warm glass of milk.
Sure.
I'm actually having one now, so we're kind of halfway there.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes, and then Neeson is also a very talented football coach, and has coached many a Ute And some of the Utes that he's coached play in the NFL.
I'm lucky. I got one. Romeo Dobbs that plays for the Packers. Played for youth football for me. Great kid. And then Alan Trejo, who might end up being the starting shortstop for the Texas Rangers this year, also played football for me.
But most impressively, Nisam is also the person who sings the theme song for Mama, I'm a Thug.
Yeah.
And what else? And every other one, pretty much. And the
Stoner
theme song,
Girl.
the theme song for the Full Fungus. That's Nisam's voice that you hear on there. And then
How old is that song, Jim?
that song is close to 30 years old. We probably recorded that 26 years ago or something like that. Yeah.
So it wouldn't be 30 then.
Well, you're right.
It would be 26.
Just like 17's not 18, Charlie.
15 will get you 20.
Are we going to talk numbers, Your Honor?
15 will get you 20.
By the way, if any of you ever accidentally or on purpose murder somebody, you can also call Charlie.
I like all the promos, Charlie. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't even know what you're selling there, but all right.
But
You
I'm
want it?
buying
I
it.
got it.
So, Nisam, before I forget, Scott Circlin here is also a huge Kiss fan, as we are.
Oh, you kissed me. Yes.
So that makes 3 of us. So
yeah, we've had
I like
Gene
Kiss.
Simmons, as we mentioned before. We've had Gene Simmons on the Artcasters.
yeah.
Around Halloween time, I think he came on once.
And he suspiciously looked like Scott a little bit, but not too much. That made me suspicious.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do
this
we
is,
want to? At what point do we want to show that trailer? You were talking about the theme song.
you know what? Let's do it. The
wanna do it, Corey?
the
You wanna roll
beautiful
that
golden
trailer?
tones you're going to hear are Nisam, and then
This
the
is
rest.
this is the animation
Can I-
plus trailer.
Can I show real quick a film I made in the trailer out in the front? Just real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Hurry. Block him. Block him.
So we had to record this off of the internet, and that was half of the technical difficulties. So it's not full screen, and I apologize.
What do you know about the full fungus?
You think you're the first private eye to come looking for the full fungus tapes?
Shut up.
I love her, and she loves me. But how do you love her makes it 3, and 3 is just too 1 for me. Together, in bed.
Yeah. Nisam, Leanne
Yes, sir.
asked if can you turn the phone sideways with that widen the panel? No.
I'm not
Perfect.
that tech savvy, Jim. That would actually require me calling my son to come back over here and hey, fix this.
Nisam, that reminds me of when people go, they're holding a drink and they go, "Hey, what time is it?" Well, it's
Yeah, that's exactly what would have happened.
Isn't your son Chris Leone that works at Pothead Studios in Los Angeles and very
yes,
successful
he is.
film editor? It is?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
him.
That's him? Chris Leone.
You know, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Like I said earlier, he takes after his mom, man.
See, he's very, very talented boy.
Yeah.
Young man.
We have any questions from our viewers? Please put them in the chat so that we may answer the questions. I mean, as deeply personal as you want. And
Actually, I got some technical advice from Chris. Actually, not even advice. He just did it because I was having trouble signing in, and so he just like touched my phone like 5 times, and then all of a sudden, I was in. So
Thank God
really
he was
good.
there.
Over
Otherwise-
the years, he's been really good at that, man.
Touching your phone.
Yeah. Like, all right, Dad, I'm gonna just do it once.
Yes, need some guy. All right, we got our first question.
Oh, okay. I'll
From
pull it
Dylan.
out.
were there any bloopers? If so, what are your favorites? And will there be a blooper reel? Nisam, I'm going to tell the Ernesto story a little bit, not quite in full. So, when Nisam plays a character named Ernesto, this weird little guy that hangs out at a laundromat, and much like Nisam in real life.
Yeah, I love that.
And the guy's
so easy, man.
Yeah, he's fascinated with Charles in Charge. He just keeps talking about Charles in Charge over and over.
I think that might be my favorite character.
It's one of mine. But the origins of that character, when we were originally recording it, Neeson was experimenting with different voices and dialects. And I won't mention anything, but he came across one. I'm like, that's it, Neeson. That's genius. And we were laughing so hard, and we recorded all of his lines. And this is the greatest character ever. And then the minute
Did you sit on it for like 3 weeks?
The minute I sobered up over time, and I listened to it, I was like, "This is very racist." It sounded horrible. I don't know against what ethnicity, but it just somehow sounded really bad.
We could have gotten called out by a lot of different people.
Exactly, yeah. Every ethnicity would have called us out on it. But so we re-recorded all of his lines. And that's the magic of the Cuban Lion.
That's what I do, baby.
And then as far as bloopers goes, there's tons of bloopers, like for every one of you guys, except for Scott was perfect every time. So,
yeah,
he self-edited it himself.
There's probably some funny grunts and weird noises and stuff.
Yeah, and
I assume you guys are the same. He's just making fun, but because I was in this medieval times thing, so I had to fight a lot. So I had to make a lot of grunts and fighting sounds, and yeah.
See, that's my secret fetish, you guys. I just
grunt.
Yeah, all the grunts. You know, I have a whole folder of nothing but that.
Speaking
Jim,
of
Jim
the
actually
apple falling
only
apart from the tree, Chris Leone edited. We created a new site on Instagram called VHS Dates, and Chris has edited a lot of the characters on that, and he really has enhanced the comedy markedly. So if you want to get a good laugh, go to VHS Dates on Instagram, and you can see some of his editing work.
It's really good, really good. Corey, what were you going to say about?
Oh, I was just going to say that you don't actually really like animation. You just need an excuse to record people making grunting noises.
Yes, because they throw me out of public restrooms.
He's gonna make like a greatest hits. It's gonna be called All the Grunts.
Yeah. Yes.
You should do one of those. Remember early internet when people would sample like a dog barking and then they'd play a whole song with the dog barking. You should do that with different fight sounds from Brandy Fungus.
Yes, that'd be a Christmas album of grunts. By the way, this entire video, I think they're betting in Vegas if Malia's gonna throw up or not. So, is she gonna throw up or not during this video? The odds in Vegas are right now.
Last time I threw up, it was probably 15 years ago.
Wow.
So,
hey, maybe we'll get lucky.
Not tonight. Sorry.
Didn't we get married 15 years ago?
What'd you say over there?
Nothing.
Happy honeymoon.
I think somebody cut in the feed. I don't think that was any of us. So, is there anything in particular that you would want? Let's start with Uncle Charlie. Is there anything in particular that you would want to know? The people to know that you brought kind of to the role of your character, which is a super Hollywood question. So I want a super Hollywood answer. What
you said it was based? You said it was based on me, and you kept directing me to just do my own voice.
Yes, which
because my inclination or tendency is want to spin things, like we've done 100 other times. But this one, you just kept pulling me back close to the bone.
I have
a schematic actually that'll explain how it works. See that when there was an initial.
So I remember you wanted to make Chino Diamond dumber. That's actually true, right? You wanted to make him more like unknowingly dumb.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's my go-to. I mean, I've been in over 300 films and television shows, and I think about 80% of them have been guys that are not as smart as they think they are. So.
Well, speaking of guys not as smart as they think.
Yes.
Neeson.
Yes, sir.
Let's pop Neeson in there. Whoop, there we go. Neeson.
There he is.
Would you like to share the quick story about, I don't remember which friend it was that was watching television and saw a commercial with somebody that we know on it?
No, it wasn't the commercial. It was actually the movie.
Oh, was it? I thought it was a commercial.
No. We're watching a fight at my house, and one of my buddy's younger brother said, "Hey, that guy, your buddy Charlie, sort of looks like the security guard in Superbad." And I go, "It's because he is the security guard in Superbad." So that was pretty neat. But yeah, man, if you can watch a sporting event with Charlie, I've had the pleasure of watching a couple of fights. They're pretty fun, man.
Even on the street.
Yeah. No, those are the best.
Yeah, usually once he knocks them out of their wheelchairs, it's on. So,
but he always does it gently, so like he gives him a shot.
Yes. I want to ask Malia a question for the magic of technology.
You got to give me some kind of warning
Here.
for the magic of technology.
Malia, do you ever, when you're not just working with me, but in any circumstance, do you worry that your kids will see what you do? Or is that a consideration?
Yes. Yeah. I have flat out told my 15-year-old, you don't get to come to this show. I don't want you to hold any of this against me.
What about their friends at school?
Especially my parents. Do you know what? Actually, I would let Scarlett come before I would invite my parents.
Really?
Yeah.
Have your parents seen any plays or anything you've been in?
Yeah.
Did you hear about it afterwards?
No, because it was like they would come to.
What do they come to? Mamma Mia?
Hunchback. They would come to like. Sister stuff that wasn't more R-rated.
It wasn't the time that you were playing the shut-in in the Great American
Agoraphobic in a trailer park.
Yeah, the trailer park musical.
Wasn't that one?
Trailer park.
It is a show called The Great American Trailer Park Musical about an agoraphobic woman and her husband who's tired of being having a shut-in wife, and he sleeps with a stripper. and then what's the end?
Most of that happens off stage.
Wait,
so what's the problem?
So yeah,
I don't know. I was just playing a character.
Well, my question is, which one did you play?
I was agoraphobic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't be an agoraphobic stripper.
No, I was not the stripper.
You can nowadays with the internet, I think. But
yeah.
You can't be afraid of poles.
No.
Man, by the way, did you cuss in that show?
Yes. Yeah. Of course I did.
No. Not in my movie.
Did I? I didn't in yours? No, Brandy's a mom, and she's usually got her baby with her.
Yeah. And no, Brandy
didn't always.
That hasn't stopped anybody before.
No, it hasn't stopped me.
Not at a Walmart. There's a really touching scene of motherly love when Brandy gently breastfeeds her baby right after her MMA fight.
It's the best time to do so, I've heard.
The adrenaline.
Yes.
So.
Really helps with the milk production. Let's talk about that for the next hour or two.
Okay. Well,
you want to talk about lactating?
We're going to do it off the air, so we might as well.
Welcome to the lactation show.
Yes.
Welcome to the lactation station.
I have now commandeered Artcasters to talk about breastfeeding.
All right, hurry, Scott. Get her out of here, Scott. Out of here. Scott,
Corey's in control, so
I want to ask you a question.
And let me tell
I know you already
so-
had to ask a question. We have another question in the chat when we get around to it. But go ahead, Jim.
Okay, well, Neeson, what were you gonna say real quick?
I've been to some like several low-level MMA fights, and Jimmy captured really the essence of that, man. Like it that's the way it feels. There was a great place in Long Beach. I think it was called either the Metroplex or Metroplex. It was $40, and it was like 15 fights. And they sold dollar tacos and $4 beers. And on the menu for the drinks, it said, all proceeds go to the kids. We have no idea who these kids are, but it really made me feel like I needed to buy a lot of these $4 beers and dollar tacos. So you want to talk about Jimmy capturing the essence of that? He did really good.
And Charlie, that was a nice MLK sign for Martin Luther King Day. So, if we could jump to Mr. Cirkman, I have a question, Your Honor.
Okay.
I would like to. So Scott, when I've known you for a few years, I didn't know that you actually did voice and stuff till I saw you doing the characters and things like that. Like, when did that start? When did you start?
Oh, I don't know. I when I was a kid, I used to do. I was a big SNL fan, and we would make our own videos, and I'd try to do voices, but most of them were just rip-offs of like characters that other people from SNL were doing. So I wouldn't say I'm a voice actor because I have friends who are professional voice actors, and they can do it like on a dime. They can switch back and forth, and and come up with like original characters and stuff like that. Basically, what I do is I'll watch somebody, like if it's a Gene Simmons, I'll listen to a bunch of interviews over and over till I get it down. Then I'll do it live or do it on a broadcast, and then I wouldn't be able to do it again unless I watched a bunch of stuff. So it's
This is like Scott. This is like Jimmy Lujan. This is your life. Because now we had somebody else join from the great state of Arizona. By the way, I want to get to Dylan's question, but first, Dr. Hodges is in the house.
Dr. Hodges.
The perv with the swerve. So, Dr. Hodges, I want you to meet Nisam Leon up in the corner.
How we doing?
How you doing, man?
And I want you to meet Charlie Rossman to block.
Nice to find out. Look, like we got a wow.
Okay.
Nice.
And Corey and Malia from their OnlyFans site.
Oh, hello.
So
it's actually only farms.
Only farms site.
Yes, we do live in Idaho.
Only farms.
So let's full screen Mr. Hodges for a moment.
Oh,
Gary.
yes.
You've done. Thank you for joining. This is like my birthday. This is great.
I needed I was listening and I needed a break from drawing. So
He put on his cape and said, "Look out! I'm coming to save the show."
I saw the Gary signal. I saw the Dr. Hodges signal.
So, by the way,
I think Gary's the only one here that probably his character. Not a whole lot of acting, really. It's just kind of.
Yeah.
It's be yourself, Gary.
Actually, the secret I hope Jim's okay with me revealing this. All the lines I gave him were just his voice messages to me. The ones that he leaves at like 2 a.m. It was kind of weird.
Without the creepy sounds in the background. So many of you that have seen the film, except for Neeson, he doesn't even know the film's out yet. But that there's a line in the film that says, "Oh, we're doing that. This is what we're doing now." That you can thank or hate Gary Hodges for that line because he ad-libbed that line at the beginning of the film in the basketball scene, where he plays a character and the character says that during the basketball game. Gary, what was your motivation for that line?
I had to dig real deep. That was the first thing I recorded, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was pretty typical direction from Jim, where it was, you're getting into it with someone on the basketball court. Go. And that was all the direction I had. So I think I was just sputtering and saying like anything that popped into my head. And
yeah, he was
I don't know
flying.
where it came from. I don't know if that's something maybe I should ask Mary. Is that something I've said before? It's like, oh, we're doing that now, and that was
good.
And then it became sort of a running gag throughout the whole film.
Yeah. Yep. And also the Dr. Hodges character.
You got to show a picture of Dr. Hodges.
I don't have a. You know what? This is.
I've got mine, but I think mine is the pre. Mine's
the pre Dr. Hodges version as well. So, anyways, but Gary's character, Dr. Hodges, who's like a mob doctor in this film. Oh, by the way, you could take him off full screen. I'm sorry, Gary. This is like,
yeah,
you know how that feels. Gary's mob doctor character started out very vanilla in it. He wasn't like as pervy as he ended up.
No. I started bringing more of that to it. Actually, so there was a behind the scenes story. There was a small part of it that I drew from a boss I had in college when I was working at Video Update, which was a video store, exactly like Blockbuster, except it had a curtained room in the back with adult films. And my boss, he was a sort of a connoisseur of these sorts of movies. And and not only those, but like kind of softcore, like Skinamax movies. And he would tell you all these weird movie trivia details about these movies. And I remember in the office, he had big posters of Shannon Tweed, Gene Simmons's wife, Gene Simmons of Kiss.
Nisa.
And he used to tell me, he was like, she's my favorite of the softcore actresses because I think sometimes she actually does do it on camera. And he had this very specific movie he was telling me about where it's like, if you pause it at just the right time, you can tell. And I remember I tried to work that all in. I was like, I want to, when he has the hostage of Brandy, I want him to start telling the story about Shannon Tweed and how maybe she's not actually a softcore actress. And you loved it. And you had me say all these crazy lines and never used any of them.
It was too dark.
Yeah, too dark.
Hey, speaking of dark, you know that we have two people on this panel that daily deal with murderers and extortionists and kidnappers and things. Charlie, who is one. And and Gary, you both work in the court system. Charlie's a lawyer as well, as you can tell, because yes, in court he does this in court as well.
He does. This is a closing argument right there.
Yes,
while Charlie's holding up his visual aids that he uses in court, Gary is somebody who designs visual aids.
There you go. Look at that.
And I was going to make a joke about somebody visually having AIDS, but I'm not going to. So.
Go with it, Jim. Go. Write it. Go.
Hold on. I got a prop.
Wow.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
So,
what swap meet did you get that at?
The high class one.
Oh.
Yes. But so I just want to say before we go today, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for doing the wonderful voices you did. I spent a lot of time with each one of you and Corey. Each one of your voices a lot more than you ever know because I had, of the editing and re-editing and cutting Gary's lines out of the film and things like that. But I, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank you guys and everybody else who was in the film. This Friday, if you're watching this in the future, send us stock tips. But if you're watching this in the future, March 21st, 2025 is when the full Fungus is going to, or has already, premiere on Animation Plus, which you can get Animation Plus. You don't have to download stuff. It's built in if you have a Samsung TV. It's right by the Conan channel. It's so weird to see my cartoon playing.
On Roku, you got to just go to live TV.
Yeah,
If you're
Roku.
trying to
It's
look
on
for it
Roku.
an app, you're not going to find it. Just go to the live TV. Animation Plus is there.
Yeah, and then it's also on something called Plex, which is another platform. And in the future, it is going to, I believe it's going to be expanding on some more platforms. That's the word on the street. And also on OnlyFans too. Hopefully, I'm personally
Only Farms.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. I'm going to, or have already done, a live chat during the broadcast of it this Friday, and you can see that if you go to jimlujan.com. That's my YouTube channel. I'm going to do it on my YouTube channel live, and hopefully you all, including Corey, can hop in and do some live chatting there and talk about your characters and stuff. You could watch the film and then chat while you watch it, or you could just go into the chat and chat with us, or whatever your personal preferences are. We will respect that and identify you in any manner that you want to be known as. So it's going to be fun, and I'm exhausted from all of this. How about you guys?
So exhausted that you're working on new animations already.
Yes. Charlie, quick question from Charlie. Go.
One quick question for the panel. I have a date later. I was wondering which of these shorts would be better. I want to wear something unusual. That would be the kisses, and then this would be the flesh tone. What do you think would be more provocative?
Both pretty unusual, but
Charlie, is that zebra print or is that a brown stripe on it? I couldn't tell from here. So, but go with that one, probably.
Okay, B. All right,
I'm going with A. I think A.
Yeah, I go with it.
It's subtle. It's very, very subtle and understated.
But if I haven't told you all I love you all.
Love you too, Jim.
Love you with the heart. Do the heart symbol. So yeah, thank you. It was a joy working. Oh no.
Oh.
With every one of you, it was a joy.
I stayed on the show just a little too long again.
Well, you're in time for nightmares. That's good. That'll always be good. I will see some of you in person and some of you in probably prison. So, is there anything else that we've missed from the chat? Any other? Oh, wait, did we answer? Okay, let's go out with this question from Dylan. I'm sorry, Dylan.
Okay.
Let's go with that. For everyone, what is your favorite design character besides your own character? Let's start with Nisam because he plays one character.
I really like Chino Diamond.
That's a good one. That's a good one to pick. How about you, Charlie?
There was anyone else in the world other than me?
No. Yeah.
No.
There was Skid Mark Joe. But...
I got nothing.
Okay. Any of these look familiar to anybody?
I'm gonna say it's a tie between Josh at the bar or Brandy's baby. I don't know which one of those two.
I was gonna say Champ.
Yeah.
Good old Champ.
Wow.
Good old Champ.
You're going to be, by the way, Amelia, you're going to be so typecast as Brandy because that is so you, the voice.
Good. That's my goal.
Mr. Dr. Hodges? Mr. Dr. Hodges' uncle?
Mr. Doctor. I was going to say the Josh Kimball character too because he's so, absurd and over the top and can't possibly be a real person.
Which one was it?
The Josh Kimball one.
That's actually one of my favorites too.
Preposterous.
Which I do have fan theories on that, which you probably
Yes. How about you, Scott?
Well, it says design, so when I think design, I think visually, because there's a lot of great. I think again, my favorite character was I forgot the Charles in Charge character. What was his name?
Oh, Ernesto.
Ernesto.
Yeah, I would go with Ernesto. That was hilarious.
He cracked me up probably the most throughout the whole thing. But visually, I think I'd go with Geralt. There's something about those blonde bowling rolls.
It's like guy playing basketball. Yeah. I would have to say, design-wise, I would say probably Ernesto because it's just ridiculous looking. But I would say character-wise, Probably Charlie. Don't get a swollen ego, but probably Chino Diamond. Okay, here we go.
Oh no!
Happening. It's too.
Oh,
no! This is
no.
A first for Artcasters and a last.
Maybe we should have cast Charlie as Dr. Hodges.
Yeah. Maybe we should get Charlie a doctor. So, parents, see, Malia, Corey, your kids can be a lawyer. They can grow up and be a lawyer. This is how they
We're
are.
crossing that one off the list. Tonight.
Oh, by the way, before we go,
don't shoot too high, kids.
Before we go, everyone here that has seen a private photo of Jodi Arias, raise your hand.
Somebody already had two raised up.
Look at the guilty party right there. No. He works in Arizona, Charlie. We'll talk later. We'll talk later about that. But, so all right. Well, Scott, should we wrap? We answered thank you, Dylan, for the question, and thank you everybody for tuning in. And Josh, you're greatly missed.
Did we? I don't know. Usually we go around the room, and is there anything? Give everyone one last chance to just anything you want to tell people if they want to find you anywhere on social media or anything like that, or any like real quick sign outs or anything like that. So I'll start with. I guess Gary's. Corey's controlling it. So
okay,
we'll start with Gary, I think, and then we'll go if that's the direction it goes.
Certainly.
I'm not here to promote myself. I'm just here to promote my buddy Jim. So I want everyone to.
Gary has an appearance this weekend. Friday. Gary has an appearance this weekend at Arizona Comics Art Fest this Saturday. So come down and see Gary.
If you're local, it's a cheap comic convention and it's great. It's the best convention I've ever been to. So show up. But really, what you should be concentrating on is seeing the full Fungus on Friday.
Yeah.
I'm also here to promote Gary Hodges.
Oh my
God. Since I'm dropping his episode soonish. If you guys haven't subscribed, go to CoreyKerr.com/email and subscribe so you don't miss it.
Very nice. Very nice. Next,
all right, Corey, who are you going to pull up next?
Who do you want?
Oh, Malia. Or Malia.
I have nothing to promote.
Come on.
Just Jim. Just my good buddy Jim.
If anybody wants really high quality voice lessons, Malia teaches voice lessons remotely. So
there you go.
Okay, I have a question. How long? Let's say I wanted to dominate a karaoke night. How much time would I need to work with you to really, really blow everybody's doors off?
How much money do you have?
Blow my doors off tonight, mister.
That depends on the initial assessment.
Let's say poor. Let's just hypothetically, let's say not very good. Not very good.
This is fun. How poor? Can you carry a tune? Has anyone here on the panel heard you sing?
No.
Are you can you like hear a note and sing that note? Or are you tone deaf? Or
I don't know if I've ever even attempted. So that's a good
play a note for you.
Oh, no.
Charlie will give you a pitch to match.
Okay.
I'm not doing this on a live stream. No.
That's a G.
Abort.
This is the G. Hit the G.
Gary, this counts as your first lesson. I'm going to send you an invoice.
Even more reason. Wait. Hold on, just 1 second. I think I see a loose cable or something here.
All right. Let's go to Neeson then.
Neeson. What's up?
Just Friday, full Fungus. Enjoy it.
March Madness.
I'll be home for the next 2 days, drinking a lot of beer after tomorrow, and probably watching my bracket implode like after game 2. So
there you go. Very nice.
All right, Charlie.
VHS dates on Instagram, edited by Chris Leone.
Yeah, my boy.
Check the character Theodore Skip Wormsley, U.S. Army 3rd Infantry, retired.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
Is that Charlie? Is that the name of the Instagram? Is VHS Dates?
VHS dates, like the old, not beta, but VHS dates.
Okay, very nice.
You got a cat? We want to put the cat on? Oh.
Katana has come to tell Malia that it's time for bed.
Do you see those eyes?
Yes.
This is our cross-eyed cat.
Help me! Help me!
I don't understand.
Help me!
What's happening?
I'll
She's
try to
camera
do that.
shy.
All right.
All right.
Jim.
Who's up?
I think Jim.
Oh, me. I miss my wife. I miss my wife. Hi, Lee. I hope you're still watching, still awake. Well, obviously, the full fungus opens, I guess you could say, on Animation Plus, and then it will also, besides being on Friday, they're going to do an encore of it that weekend sometime, and then I think it'll be in some kind of rotation, and then I know at some point it'll be on demand. You can go there and watch it on demand. I think for free. I think. Don't quote me, but thank you for everybody. And then the other thing I wanted to say was, yes, I've started the next project. It's a series that you could see here on YouTube called The Unicornians, and that's going to talk about the Unicornian Church and some undercover stuff going on and journalistic things, and it's in the works now. Big announcement, April Fool's Day, episode 1 will drop.
Whoa.
By the way, one last thing, Brandy Fungus, her real name in the film is actually,
Sorry, sneezed.
okay, take 2.
I'm so sorry.
Can we get a little professionalism here?
Sorry.
Never mind, Scott. You go.
All right, Jim. Were you going to do like a commentary or something? I know you mentioned doing something like that, or
on the full fungus.
Yeah. What were you trying to
put a microphone in front of Charlie and like just let him
well,
go on?
I thought you were trying to get people together like a watch party or something, or maybe that's not a public
Oh
thing.
yeah, I was going to do it, but then Charlie messed everything up with his behavior, and now we're banned from every place in Los Angeles.
Oh no.
Okay, he's running.
By
the way,
we
Charlie,
saw the test. I was afraid we were going to see the other end.
That's we got scared. Well, it's not too late. So.
Yeah.
But okay, I've heard his feelings. And Scott, go.
Yes. All right. So again, Full Fungus this Friday. Definitely check it out live. I've got a Roku I've got a Roku thing. I think I can hook it up and I can watch it because I don't have a Samsung TV.
Yeah.
But whatever you have to do, if you have to go out to your Best Buy, buy a Samsung TV, bring it home so you can watch the Full Fungus, then it's definitely worth it. So check out the Full Fungus on Animation Plus. As far as myself and my friend Gary over there and a couple of our other friends, Keith and Scott from the Making Comics podcast, you can meet us in person at the Arizona Comics Arts Festival this weekend, Saturday. It's a one-day show centered just around comics. I know that's kind of a weird thing for a comic convention, for it to be about comics, but that's exactly what this show is. So come out and check us out if you happen to be local. All right. And then this show, the Artcasters, we do this show pretty much every single week. Usually it's rotates between myself and my friend Josh's channel, who couldn't be with us today. And it does get a little confusing because, like I said, it does rotate. We have different guests, different topics, all that stuff. If you want to know who the guest is going to be, what the topic's going to be, when we're going to go live, all that stuff, then join our mailing list. There's a link in the description of this video. Just click on that and you'll be alerted whenever we're going to go live. And I want to thank the chat. I want to thank for all the questions and all the new people showing up, which I assume are friends of the cast here that we have on. So thank you guys. Normally we're talking about art and comics and all that kind of stuff. So maybe check us out.
And everybody look at the camera because this will be your thumbnail.
Okay.
All right. Okay, guys.
Okay.
It's great to meet all the rest of the cast.
Thank you, everybody.
Likewise, guys.
Nisam, good seeing you, man. Love you,
Good seeing
man.
you, guys. Pleasure.
Nice to meet you guys.
All right.
Nice to meet
Have a
you
good
guys.
night.